6 levels of money you need to understand before you can become rich. Right now, you're probably thinking about money all wrong. And I'm not trying to insult you. I'm saying this because most people operate at just 1 or 2 levels of financial understanding, completely unaware that there are 6 distinct levels that separate the poor from the wealthy. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which level you're currently at, and more importantly, what it takes to climb to the next one. Let's start with level 1. Level 1 is what I call survival money. This is where the vast majority of people live. At this level, money is purely transactional. You earn it, you spend it immediately on necessities, rent, food, utilities, and then you're back to zero. There's no buffer, there's no plan, there's no future thinking. If your car breaks down, it's a catastrophe. If your job disappears, you're in crisis mode within weeks. Living at level 1 means you're trading hours for dollars, and you have absolutely no margin for error. The average person stays trapped here for their entire life because they've never been taught that other levels exist. But here's what separates the people who escape level 1 from those who don't: awareness. The moment you understand there's a level 2, everything changes. Level 2 is stability money. At this level, you've started doing something critical. You're spending less than you earn. You've built an emergency fund. Maybe it's 3 months of expenses. Maybe it's 6. You've stopped living paycheck to paycheck, and that changes your entire psychology. Now, when an unexpected expense hits, it's inconvenient, not catastrophic. You're still trading time for money, but you've created breathing room. You can think beyond today. You can plan for tomorrow. Most people who reach level 2 feel rich compared to level 1, even though they're not actually building wealth yet. They're just building stability. And stability is important, but it's not the same as wealth. This is where most middle-class people get stuck. Level 3 is where wealth building actually begins. I call this growth money. At this level, you're not just earning and spending, you're earning, spending, and investing the difference. Now, that difference might be small. Maybe you're investing 5% of your income. Maybe it's 10%. But here's what matters. You've started putting money to work. You're buying stocks. You're building a side business. You're investing in yourself through education. At level 3, your money is starting to make money. It's subtle at first. An extra $100 a month from dividends feels pointless. But this is where compound interest enters the game, and compound interest is the most powerful wealth-building force on the planet. Level 3 is usually where it takes 5 to 10 years to see significant results, which is why most people quit. They don't see the massive returns immediately, so they give up. But those who stay, they're about to enter level 4. Level 4 is what I call acceleration money. At this level, your passive income is significant enough that you're reinvesting most of it. Your investments are growing faster than your salary could ever grow. Now you're making money while you sleep. $1,000 a month in passive income might not sound like much, but it changes everything. It removes the pressure of your job. It extends your runway. It gives you options you didn't have before. At level 4, you're not just thinking about your salary anymore. You're thinking about your net worth. You're thinking about your assets. You're thinking about how many years until you can stop trading time for money completely. This is where the wealthy start to separate from everyone else. The gap between level 3 and level 4 takes most people a decade or more. But once you're there, the acceleration starts. And that brings us to level 5. Level 5 is freedom money. This is where your passive income completely covers your lifestyle. You don't need your job anymore. You could retire tomorrow and nothing would change. You'd still have all your income, just from different sources. Real estate, stock portfolios, business assets, digital products. It doesn't matter what the source is. What matters is that you're no longer dependent on trading your time. Your time is now a choice, not a necessity. At level 5, most people don't actually stop working. Instead, they work on things they're passionate about. They take bigger risks because they're not desperate. They start businesses that excite them rather than jobs that pay bills. Level 5 typically requires a net worth between $500,000 and $2 million, depending on your lifestyle. But here's the thing. Once you reach level 5, the path to level 6 becomes almost inevitable. Level 6 is what I call legacy money. At this level, your wealth is so significant that it generates far more income than you could ever spend in a lifetime. You're not just thinking about yourself anymore, you're thinking about your family, your impact, and the world you're leaving behind. Your passive income is so high that you can donate to causes, fund your children's education, and still have excess wealth growing exponentially. Most people never reach this level in their lifetime, but those who do, they've typically built something that generates wealth independently of their effort. A massive real estate portfolio, a successful company, intellectual property that pays dividends indefinitely. Now, here's what you need to understand. Each level requires different thinking, different behaviors, and different financial strategies. You cannot skip levels. You cannot jump from level 1 directly to level 5, but you can accelerate the process by understanding each level deeply and implementing the specific strategies that work at that level. The question you need to ask yourself right now is simple. Which level are you currently at? Are you still in survival mode, completely unaware that other levels exist? Are you building stability but afraid to invest? Are you investing but not reinvesting your returns? Are you earning passive income but not enough to change your life yet? Are you at freedom or legacy level already? Here's what separates people who become rich from people who stay poor. The wealthy understand that wealth is a journey through these levels. They don't expect to be rich tomorrow. They understand the process. They stay disciplined at each level. They reinvest their returns. They don't inflate their lifestyle every time they earn more money. If you're currently at level 1 or 2, your job right now is simple. Get to level 3. Start investing, even if it's just $5 a week. The amount doesn't matter. Building the habit matters. Building the belief that your money can work for you matters. That's the first step. This is the framework that separates the financially free from those stuck in the cycle. Which level you reach depends entirely on the decisions you make today. Subscribe for more frameworks like this that will change how you think about money forever. And if you want to find out how to buy a Bugatti for $67 a month, click on this video.